over 30 years ago. My truck broke down and I couldn't get to church. And I talked to the pastor about getting to church, and he kept coming up with these different excuses. He says, I can't put that kind of obligation on my congregation. At that time, I was really spiritually looking for help. 2 weeks went by, I finally came back. He came to me a couple weeks after that and asked if I would give a donation to the missionaries to go overseas. And I told him I had a problem with that. And he asked me why, and I told him, well, a couple weeks ago, you wouldn't help me just get a ride to church. I kind of took offense to that, and I stopped going to church. Stopped going for a few weeks, and then I decided to start going to look for church. So I went to a ton of different churches trying to find where I should be. I became very good at finding the problems in the church. A friend of mine made a comment to me one time that every man will fail you, but God will not. At that point, I stopped looking for the problems. I haven't found any problems here in the church because I'm not looking. Wayne Kaufman came in and did his preaching to us, and like I said, it hit me with like a brick that I needed to go back and I needed to talk to the church that I grew up in. That weekend, I called the church and I asked them, I need to talk to you, I need to have a meeting with the pastor. Within a half an hour of my call, the pastor that's there now called me and asked me what he can do for me, and I explained the whole situation. And I said, look, I'm trying to make a wrong right. I'm taking full responsibility for this. The new pastor welcomed me back with open arms. He allowed me to bring my kids along, and we went through Sunday school, and I started remembering a lot of the things that I went to that church for. I loved that church. It was the best thing that happened to me up until this church now. Not that everybody is going to be as nice as my old church and welcome me back, but it's things that I have to do. And if he's going to ask me to do those things, I'm going to do them to make my life better, to let his will be done in my life.